Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Laura Pence. Welcome. If this is your first time here, thanks for coming. It's awesome to have you here. I hope that you get a lot out of this. And I want to make sure that you come back. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're returning, if this is like the second time you've been here, or the third time, or even maybe the 9th time, I'm so glad that you keep coming back. It's going to benefit you so much. And of course, it obviously makes me feel like I'm building a community, which just is awesome. So thank you. Okay, so we are continuing to answer that larger question, right, of who am I? This whole month of January is about basically getting you in a position where you can understand yourself a little bit better and have a little bit more self-awareness of who you are. So in answering this question, today we're going to talk about knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Strengths is like a little bit of a hard word to say, so just bear with me during the episode. But so it's important for you to know what your strengths and weaknesses are so that you can understand sort of areas in which you might feel comfortable and those in which you might not feel quite as comfortable. And sometimes, because we don't always love to sort of stand up and be proud, we aren't as good actually at identifying our strengths. Sometimes people are much better at identifying what maybe they're not very good at than what they are good at. But having both is really, really important. Because when you spend your time over here, just sort of in the weaknesses and the limitations, then that's going to bring you down, right? It's going to make you feel less confident. It's going to make you feel like you don't have quite as much self-esteem. Maybe levels of inadequacy are going to go up. So we want to make sure that we understand both, that we understand maybe what we're not so great at, right? And what our limitations are, but also what we're really good at. Like, what are the things that are just totally our jam and that we can rock out, right? So knowing your strengths and knowing your limitations is a big part of answering that question, who am I? For those very reasons that I just listed. So today's exercise of the week is for you to identify your strengths and identify your weaknesses, okay? And I'm going to give you the number of 5 for each. So 5 strengths and 5 weaknesses. Now, like many of the exercises that I give you, they sound really easy when I say them, right? But often when you sit down, like pen to paper, it can be a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue on maybe how to work with your strengths in particular, which is call in your friends, right? Like phone a friend, whatever that show is that you used to be able to phone somebody and get some help with. Ask them, what do you think I'm good at? And see what they say, right? Now, if they say something that really doesn't land on you and you have a really difficult time believing, like if I ask somebody, what do you think I'm good at? And they said, I think you're a really good dancer. I pretty much know that I'm actually not a very good dancer at all. So I wouldn't list that on my strengths part, right? But it's good to just have that data, to have that information. If I heard it from 5 people, then I might be like, okay, maybe I'm better than I thought I would. But I bet you that I wouldn't. So, okay, so there's that strengths part, right? So go ahead and give yourself permission to ask your support team, ask the people in your life that you really trust, that really know you, what am I good at? And identify 5 strengths. Now, over here for your weaknesses, I want you to really spend a little bit of time thinking on what those weaknesses are. And I want you to give yourself permission to be honest with yourself about it, okay? It might bring up feelings of distress. It might bring up feelings of inadequacy. It might bring up some shame even. That's okay. Try and sit with it for a little bit. Because again, it's really important not only to own these things over here that you're proud of, but to also know the things that actually maybe you're not very good at, okay? So, and that can be, in either category, we can have lots of different things. I mean, we could have, I'm really good at cooking and I'm not very good at drawing, or I'm really good at reading, or I'm not very good at conflict, or I'm really good with relationships, or I'm not really good at running. I mean, there's a lot to choose from. So don't limit yourself. But again, let's focus on 5 strengths and 5 weaknesses. And that's your exercise for the week, okay? Now, come back on Thursday. Thursday is going to be our last episode in this month of January, and we're going to talk about who you surround yourself with, what you read, what you listen to, and what you watch. Basically, what goes into your brain and how that makes up part of who you are. One more time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on Thursday.